we need to get your ass out of the business. You need to be working on it instead of in it. Jose Pio here, aka the Lone Soldier. What I do is I help businesses understand business financing, understand their numbers so that they are Shark Tank ready. Last year, my buddy and I actually purchased a landscaping plowing company, residential one, to add on to his currently operating business, because one of the key concerns he had was his revenues were kind of stagnant. And there were a couple of things that we looked at to make sure that we can fix that. I hate to say fix it, but so that we can really tackle that issue, because there's multiple things going on at that same time. Number one, he was an owner operator. So he was not really focused on working on the business very much. Number two, he had employees that during the wintertime, they were put on unemployment. So they weren't utilized to their full extent, in my opinion. And then number three, he was spending a lot of time answering calls, service calls, and issues like that, where he didn't have the amount of time that he needed to really be focused on growing the business. So there was a couple of different things we did there in order to really catapult him into this past year, where revenues jumped up, inventory, where we actually invested a bunch of money into different things that are going to help us to grow the business. These are things that you should know about, so that if you're on the same kind of fence there, where you've kind of hit that plateau, where when you started the business, let's say 3-5 years ago, it was going upwards. You were excited as hell, and now it's kind of like, I don't want to say stagnated, but it hasn't grown as quickly. And yet you were putting in more effort. That's a problem. We need to get you out of the business. And the first thing we did, not only obviously buying another company, which we were supposed to be buying equipment, buying employees, buying revenues, buying all of it. What ended up happening is that we looked at who we had currently working in the commercial space that we can promote. Because what happens is that when you get more revenues, you get more customers, you're going to get more calls. His big issue was he's on the phone all the damn time. He's actually calling me right now while I'm doing this video. I'll have to call him back. But he was on the phone all the time taking service calls instead of taking sales calls. So I said, all right, what is it worth to you to get rid of all the calls, all the service calls out of your life? Is it worth $5 an hour to you? He was like, oh, hell yeah. I'm like, all right, cool. So you can outsource it. There's two options. You can outsource it to a company that does that type of service, where they schedule things for you, they answer calls, they take voicemails, and then they'll kind of give you a written estimate of, hey, this is what's happening. But what I really want to focus on is promoting from within. You likely have someone who has probably been there since day one, or has shown that they're with you through and through. That person needs to be promoted to general manager. General manager means an increase in pay, an increase in responsibilities as well. And one of the main responsibilities is whenever these, contracts, or whenever these customers call for service, they're no longer calling the owner. They're going through you. They're going through you. Another thing we're going to add into the end is some systems in place, but that'll come a little bit later. We had to make sure that he understood his responsibilities were going to come up, but at the same time, he was going to get more perks for having those responsibilities. And we were giving him notice that we understood that he has been loyal and he has been fair with us, and he has been there with the company since day one. So he needs to be compensated for that. And I'm sure you have someone like that in your company that has been there through and through, and you want to take care of them. Give them that bonus, give them that increase in pay, give them that company vehicle, whatever it takes. Give them a cell phone plan, whatever it takes to let that person know, hey, I want you to know that this is also kind of your business. You are running this, so that someday if you want to basically take over the business, or let's say you want to move to another city and then bring that same business plan to that other city so that you can continue doing what you're already doing, we support you fully. You got to understand, these employees, you have to empower them. That's really what they want, is to see that their skills and the value is there and it's seen. Number two, once you've taken off a lot of the responsibilities off of the business owner, it's going to come down to time blocking. You need to earn back your time. You need to know that when you wake up in the morning, this is another key factor of it, there's no thought process. When you wake up in the morning, you have this to do immediately from 8 a.m. till 10 a.m., from 10 a.m. till 12 a.m., from 12 to 1, 1 to 3, 3 to 5. Time block it out. This is when you're going to spend time with calls and emails. After that time block, you are not looking at those emails again until the next time block you have for emails. And the big thing was having 2 separate time blocks. One in the morning to let the teammates know what's going on, let the manager know what's going on. Any sales that you need to, follow up on, any estimates you need to follow up on. But after you close that time block, you're done. You're on to the next thing. You need to time block your time. You need to know exactly what is expected of you. And it's also helpful because your significant other then will know what to expect from you. They know that if they were to call you during this time, that you are not taking calls at that time. You are not taking calls, and that the appropriate time to contact is between this hour and this hour. Obviously, there's times when your wife has to get a hold of you, or your husband, whatever it may be. But especially when it comes to customers, they should know that if it's something that has to go above and beyond, not the customers anymore, but the manager, they know that you are easily accessible during this time frame. And if you call outside of it, it better be for a good reason. Another time block that you need to have is the marketing and meetings. Anytime you want to set up a meeting with a customer, sometimes you got to let them know, hey, unfortunately, I know you're at this, price point. We have to raise the prices to this level. Or you've sent out an estimate to a customer and they kind of want to sign that and get it going. All right, cool. Let me go there in person, make sure that what I saw on Google Maps is what's actually in person as well. And any barriers and stuff like that, take pictures, upload it to the system. And then a third time is when it comes to employees. When you're possibly looking to, hire people, you need to have a time block where you say, hey, I have this time span open where you can come and meet with us and we can do your job interview at that point. One thing in the morning that I used to do, I kind of need to get back into, was meditation. Setting aside, 15, 20 minutes for meditation, just quietness. As soon as you wake up, just be, right? Just be present and get the thoughts out of your mind and get refreshed every morning. Don't just jump out of bed thinking that you have to do this, that, and the other. Like, wake up with an appropriate amount of time to do what you got to do in the morning, but also meditate. That's pretty big. That people who are just have a lot of mental health issues, or people who get stressed out pretty easily, people who are high blood pressure, those types of people, I highly suggest you put 15, 20 minutes aside for meditation or for reading, whatever it may be in the morning. That's really going to calm your brain down. And then another time is making sure you have family time. There needs to be family time in there. And it doesn't necessarily have to be after 5 o'clock. My business partner, he needs a specific time frame for being able to go pick up his daughters. This is your time frame right here, 2:30 to 3:30. Everyone knows that they can't contact you for sales, services, whatever, 2:30 to 3:30. You're not answering your call for anyone between that time. That is you and your daughter's time, unless you want to contact me, the business partner. And that's different. That's a joke there. But making sure that you take the responsibilities off your shoulders that you can, the mundane everyday issues that doesn't really need your attention, because your attention and intention should be focused on growing the business. That is why we time block. That's why we have time set aside for marketing, for emailing, for meeting with potential applicants. Really time block out so that you know that every single day you're expected to grow the business 1% more than where it was yesterday. That is the goal, 1% better every single day. The third thing is the systems part. I alluded to it earlier, but having a system in place so that it kind of, for multiple reasons. Number one, a lot of things that he was dealing with were things you didn't need to be in person for. Like, if someone wanted to estimate, hey, I saw your guys doing my neighbor's lawn yesterday, or hey, I heard about you guys, working at this commercial location. I hear you guys do a very good job. I would like to get a price quote for my location. Cool, we got you. Systems in place. Pull out the software, pull up Google Maps, look at exactly they want their landscaping done. All right, looks like they're going to need this, that, and the other. Put it into the system. Know exactly how much per hour, per square yard, per square foot, whatever it may be that you charge, because you want to have that uniformity. That's the second part of it, having that uniformity across all price points, because when you're charging one person one amount and then charging another person a whole different dollar amount, or you're kind of like, swinging from the freaking seat of your pants, you're not going to have that uniformity, and it's going to be harder for you to price something out. When I say harder for you to price something out, harder for you to understand that you know that your business is going to make this certain percentage point of gross profit margin. If you're not making that, then it's just not worth it to you. If you're not making 30, let's say 30% gross profit margin on this, it's not worth it to you. So when they come back and say, hey, I saw your estimate, you're a little high. What do you think about this dollar amount? You know, all right, well, I quoted them at 35%. I can maybe bring it down to 30. That brings it down to 32%. I'm still within my reason. All right, yeah, we can do that. Or no, this is our price point. This is what we do. That's up for you to decide if you want to have some wiggle room or not. Completely up to you. But uniformity is huge. Being able to have systems in place where you can easily price things out, send it to them electronically so they can agree to it or not. We have it where it sends it to them via email or via text or both. And they can confirm it right then and there. And that way it saves you from wasting all your time, energy, gas, going out to the location just to price it out. Sometimes if it's a big dollar amount, yeah, you probably want to meet with them in person. But a lot of times when it's just, hey, I want to see how much it's going to cost to do my lawn every week. Here you go. Here's your price point. And then the third part of that, when it comes to the systems, is the billing part. The previous owner, when we bought it from him, he had it where he was manually billing people out, and he was including a self-addressed stamped envelope in there for the return payment. Very nice of him. Very nice of him. That wasn't going to fly with us. We're going into 2024 now. We need to have automated systems, and everyone nowadays knows that for the most part, when you set up for when you sign up for something that is a monthly recurring basis, you're usually going to have an auto ACH come out of your account. It's just the way it is. And we looked at what was available out there in the market, and we didn't just find it and then agree to it. What we did was went to the current bank that we're at, and then a bank that I had relationships with. And I have accounts pretty much everywhere. So whenever I need something, a loan, business loan, auto loan, these types of programs where I need auto ACH customers, I know I can reach out to multiple banks and say, this is what we're looking for. What do you have? The first bank we went to, which was the current bank, $100 a month plus an extra this per ACH. Third bank didn't even do it. Second bank was like, well, we do $30 a month plus this percent per ACH. It was 1/3 the cost of the current bank. So we chose that one. $30 a month, I think it ends up being around $35 a month with the per ACH fee, which isn't very much. It saves us so much time and energy. And also it's very beneficial for the customers because they don't have to worry about getting their payments in on time or the checks getting lost or stolen in the mail. They don't have to worry about that anymore. Now they know it is completely thoughtless for them to worry about their services that they get from us every month. They don't have to think about anything. It's automatically done for them. And the payment is automatic for them as well. They know on the 15th of every month, it comes right out of their account. So it's been a benefit for both of us. It has helped us grow. It has helped us to set a standard separate from anyone else in the market. I think it's been very beneficial for time management as well when it came to not having to manually bill out those payments. So promoting someone from within to take off phone calls, emails, service calls, stuff like that, very beneficial on multiple different fronts. Time blocking, very beneficial for the owner operator to get out of being the operator and become more of a business owner, not just a businessman, but a business man, you know what I mean? So getting them out of the business, get out from working in your business and start working on your business. Your everyday as a business owner should be focused on growing the business, not working in it. And then the third thing is having the systems in place, because when you grow to a certain point, you may get done with this business. And let's say in 10 years, a lot of landscapers, construction, roofers are like, all right, I'm done with this. I'm going to go ahead and sell the business or let one of the employees take it over. Well, you don't have systems in place. You don't have management in place. You don't have, automated things in place. You won't be able to get very much from the sale of your business without those things in place. If you are a business that's fully operating, plug and play, where it doesn't matter who the owner is, you're going to get paid a higher multiple on that than you would if you were just, hey, my business is Jose Property Care and I am the guy that does it all, and I do the billing, and I pick up the payments and everything. Well, what's going to happen when someone buys the business from me? You're likely going to lose some customers. You're likely going to lose some business. It's just bound to happen. So having systems in place, automated systems in place, having a promotion from within, having employees taking care of the service, making sure your time is blocked out, that you know exactly what's expected from you every single day, and you don't have to worry about a damn thing. That's a blessing. That's what I would recommend. That's what we did. That's what we implemented. And I'm still working on him with that time blocking thing. But for the most part, everything else has been extremely beneficial for us, especially with the growth trajectory that we should have in 2024. I think what we've invested in is gonna skyrocket us to that past that $1 million mark. I'm really excited for him and for the business in general. So hopefully you learned something out of this, or you took away something out of this that may be beneficial for you and your business. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. You can contact me right through here, whatever source you got this from. And hopefully I can bring you value. It doesn't cost you anything. I don't charge you anything to discuss what your issues are with your business, what you've done so far with it to try and alleviate that, who you've worked with to try and alleviate that, and why maybe it hasn't worked before, and showcase the value that I would bring. Showcase to you what working with me would look like. And then at that point, if you agree and you say, hey, let's do that, then we'll discuss what it might cost. But until then, I try to bring as much value as I can to everybody around me. And hopefully I can bring some value to you. Have a blessed day.